Alrighty. I just finished the second movie, uh, Kyokar Orewa. Pretty sure there's a second one. I watched this one as well last night. I think they're both about the same, I'll be honest. They're probably both like a good 6 out of 10. Depends on if you're a fan of like the manga or the anime. I think the anime does a pretty good job. I think the live action 1990s show or movies collection or whatever you want to call it. um, they're actually pretty good. I'd say the second film is much more comedic. The only issue I have with it is like I'll say this, the positives in the second film are definitely the fighting scenes. There's a lot of water scenes. A lot of guys get flipped into water, but that's whatever. The fighting scenes and the comedy aspects are actually a lot funnier and pretty good here. The plot is kind of confusing, much more confusing than this one, especially if you don't know Japanese, as I don't. So it was definitely harder for me to follow. There was moments of the love triangle thing that I was getting really confused about. There's definitely moments where I recognized certain storylines, like from the manga and things like that were really cool. The first one I think I actually enjoy a little bit more than this one, just because of familiarity with it. I don't think it's as funny. This one's definitely more humorous for sure. There's definitely so many more comedic elements, and it definitely has that more. If you've seen a lot of Japanese stuff, that kind of like dramatic, not dramatic, very extreme humor, if that makes sense, like really big slapstick type of things, really like characters that are just bizarre. This one had stuff like that too. Like there's that one character with like who's blind, who just like the crew with Amai and all those guys. Is pretty funny, but I think they had a lot more gimmicks and gags in this one. I just thought the plot was really boring overall. I thought the very narrative was kind of long-winded. I think they're about the same. Ooh, this one's technically shorter, but man, it felt so much longer for some reason. This one was just, I found really enjoyable. I think the pacing was really good in the first one. There's definitely more of a beginning, middle, and end, whereas this one was like, there's these dudes and they're coming after the duo. So it just was a little bizarre. But I finished both of them. It's like a solid 6 out of 10, I would say, for both. There's definitely elements that could be better. If you're a manga fan, I would definitely say that they are like a 6 out of 10. If you've never read the manga and this is like your first experience with the story, I'd say it does a pretty good job. The costumes and effects and I think the budget is definitely higher for this one. This one's very cheap, but I kind of like the cheap element to it. Anyway, there's it's fine. What can I talk about specifically? There's like this running thing where they again, if you've read the manga, you'll know what I'm talking about. Well, not what I'm talking about, but if you watch this and you've read the manga as well, they pick up certain storylines. Like I believe the main antagonists or whatever that run throughout the story. I think there's like a few chapters of them in the manga as well, or some similar type characters, especially in this one as well. They fight the Yakuza, or some guys similar to the Yakuza, right? Um, there's more. There's another female character in this one. I don't really remember or care about her too much. Um, I think she likes Ito or something. Uh, what else? Trying to remember. There's this other thing in this story. One thing I didn't really like about this was again like the love triangle. I thought that was kind of weird, but that might have just been my misinterpretation because my Japanese isn't very good. I kind of understood some things, but then some stuff wasn't as bad. The audio quality is much better in this one as well. There's definitely more musical scenes and all of that. So I think on a general scale, this is technically an upgrade if you're more into the action, the humor, and all of that. But I always like the smaller interactions and things like that. So I preferred this one a bit more. This one is a little closer to the manga, I feel, at points. They're both pretty much about the same when it comes to like manga representation. They definitely take their own liberties for the show. One thing I don't particularly care for is the heavy romance. Uh, I remember the original manga definitely did have a lot of romance as well, but like it was really subtle stuff. It was like subplot. Like it was like third on the list of importance. Like first was comedy, second was like an actual story of some kind, and then the third would be like maybe a romance chapter every once in a while. And when I say romance chapter, I mean like, you know, Riko has a crush on Mitsuhashi, or Ito and Kyoko try to have a date, but then Mitsuhashi or some other character interrupts it, or something like that. I don't really like the fact that, like, I don't know, it was a little weird. I didn't think it was that good. I think they did a better job in the first film. I'll probably try to watch the other ones. I think there's like six. No, there's like four more. So there's those two, and then there's Yellow. He's just taking a nap. There's also the cat right there. But let me see here. There's yeah, there's four more. So I'm pretty sure I've shown these already. But ooh, shit, that's hot. Okay. Probably shouldn't have left them there. Ooh, yeah, that's really hot. Oh no. I'm using my PlayStation right now. I probably need to get a proper thing. I haven't watched these ones. I've opened this one, and oh fuck, did it mess it up? No, it just got really warm. Okay. I have not read any of these. I know they changed like some of the characters. I think the actors are still the same. Well, this guy looks really different. I don't know. It might just be the way they do it. I think Mitsuhashi's the same dude, but it looks like they changed who Ito is as the. No, because Eli is the same. So maybe they just changed the girl characters. I have no idea. I'm trying to see. Can you all even... Okay, I got them out of order. I know 17... The 17 series is like... I'm pretty sure one of them is last. Mitsuhashi... I don't really want to read all of that. That's 4, 6. Which one is this one? This one is one of them. Sorry, I know I'm reading them off camera. So I think this one is 4, 6. This one's not 3, is it? This one's 5. So 4, 5, and then yeah, this is the most recent one, 1997. So, this one would be next. We would watch this one next. This should be 3, right? 1994. I'm trying to read it just a little bit. Sorry, let me put it so y'all can actually see it. Can't really read chapter. Yeah, 3 right there. It says 3 right there. So that's 3. So, and if you're wondering how I know that, it's pretty easy. You can just use Google Translate, but it gets a little annoying using your phone to Google Translate everything. So you can just kind of figure out certain phrases and stuff like here. This one doesn't need to say that because it's the earliest one. And then it also has this phrase. Yeah, Kokara Orewa, something. I'm pretty sure that just means like, oh, it's coming to the big screen or something like that. I forgot. I don't really want to read all of them. But then you can go to this one, and it should say 2 right there. Obviously, it says 2 right here, but you'll see that phrase along all of them. So it will say, Sorry, it's a little hard to read the kanji when it's so tiny, right? And you can also look at the dates. The dates help too. So I pretty much watched those two. They're pretty fun. They're not like crazy good or anything like that. I still think the 2021 is a little bit better from what I've watched so far. Obviously, that's a show with a higher production value. It's newer. You know, there's certain elements to it that are just, again, going to be a little bit better. I think the adaptation is also just a little better. Obviously, it doesn't adapt like the manga one for one. Actually, I think the movies do, at least these two, do a little bit of a better job of actually adapting some of the elements from the manga. I think the new show, I actually like Imai, or Benny, whatever his name is. You know, the Banjo guy, the guy who's like, I'm the king of the castle, and his sidekick from the manga. I actually didn't really like them that much in the manga. I thought they were rather boring. I think their chapters are boring, and the fact that the last chapter is a little adventure with those two dudes, I think the author really likes them. I don't find them that funny in the manga. I actually find them really hilarious in the movies. I didn't find them that funny in the 2020 show. I thought they were just a little too goofy. But in this one, they're actually kind of serious. And maybe it's just because, like, Mai's actually kind of intimidating looking or, like, kind of cool in these films. So you kind of have, like, let me see if there's a photo of him. Because obviously I haven't shown video of it. He's on one of these. He's right there. It's that guy. Right here. That's Mitsuhashi, obviously. And then that's probably the new girl or something. Either way, though, it's pretty good. I think I didn't really talk about the girl characters that much. I think Kyoko is probably she's really good. Good actress. I think she kind of sucks in the second film, but she's pretty good in the first film. There's like this whole shtick where they all have like this pinky promise, where there's like no fighting, yada yada, whatever. That's actually kind of a fun running gag, especially with Imai and all of them. Again, pretty fun. I think that's about it, really. It's pretty good. I think once I get a proper DVD player and or like a one that I can hook up to like my computer or something, I'll try to rip these and torrent them or put them like on Internet Archive or something. Just because I know nobody's able to watch these. I haven't found any video of these, at least on the English internet. I've searched like Japanese Yahoo and stuff, and even then I don't find too many videos of these. Mostly just like trailers and stuff. So I think DVDs are the only way you can actually legally watch these, because there's like no video of it even illegally. I don't know how Japan does things when it comes to internet. Like, I don't know if they have like their own, pirating sites or whatever. They probably don't, honestly, because copyright's so strict over there. So it's probably really hard to like do this type of stuff. I think most torrent people probably buy the DVDs somehow and then like put them on to the English market some way, or the international pirating sites. So I'll see what I can do. It'll probably take me a year or something like that, or a few months before I can actually, because I have to pay for college, and then I'm thinking of getting a motorcycle license or a scooter license, just something small. I can't afford a car or anything like that. So anyway, that's all. I'll probably try to watch the next two. It's Christmas time, so I probably have plenty of time unless I want to watch something else. But again, they're all pretty fun. I think these are a little shorter. Oh god, no, they're all pretty long. Oh, goodness. I think they're all film length. An hour and a half. Oh, this one's pretty short. It's just an hour. So, yeah, the last two aren't too long. I'm not going to judge anybody's appearance. I think they do an okay job. I think they do an okay job. Like, obviously, they're not going to look exactly the way I imagined them, and they're not going to be, like, the most good-looking people ever. The 2020 version, those characters look actually kind of good. Except Imai's kind of, like, funky looking. That's really mean because, they're obviously real people, so it's not really a nice thing to say. But They are supposed to be like kind of cute or good looking people. Supposedly some of them are supposed to be like models. I don't know. I'm getting off tangent. I'm not here to judge people's appearances. I mean, I'm not that good looking myself. So, either way, pretty good. I might. No, I don't think I'll watch the third one. I think I'm gonna turn something else on. Um, I have some other stuff I can watch. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening.